Ostrich ferns are excellent for cool, shady areas. They grow 3 to 5 feet tall, and some gardeners consider them invasive because they increase so much each year, just like the common roadside orange daylilies. But for me, this is a plus. So today, I'm starting a bed for them behind my garage, right beside my potting bench. I already have a bed for them behind the bench under the chocolate vine beside our house, and it's really nice sitting there. And ostrich ferns have their own smell that I think it's really pleasant. And ostrich ferns are easy to move. And right here you can see some that volunteered in my seed bed, and I saved them instead of pulling them up. And I'm digging them up and putting them in my wheelbarrow that you can't quite see there. And once I get these all dug up, I'm going to take them back there and put them in the ground beside my potting bench behind the garage, which is pretty well out of view. But I think that'd be really nice to just have that whole area there filled with ferns. I've been busy this year. I put daylilies, the common orange ones, all along the side of the yard there. And then all across the back I've got various things. And then on the other side I put hostas all along the other side because it's really shady there. And the hostas I put there are Royal Standard, and they have a really perfumey scent, and hummingbirds just love them. So I've got a whole row of those on the other side of the yard. Ferns are a class of plants that don't make seeds. They make spores on the underside of their leaves, and that's how they reproduce. Here is behind the garage where I'm digging a hole to plant them. And it's pretty straightforward. You just dig a hole bigger than the root ball, and put it in there at the same ground level that it grew before, and take the clods and break them up with your hands, and then put them back in there. And these weeds I'm pulling up, I'm just throwing them out there so we can cut them with the lawnmower and bag them, put them on the compost pile. Also, it's still May, and May becomes one of those months where I might water something if I'm planting it into the sun. And but I'm planting it here in pretty cool shade, so I won't need to be watering these ferns in. If I was planting something out in the sun in May, I would water them. But whenever I transplant things in April, I try and get most of my transplanting done in April. That way you don't have to water things because the soil is all cool and the sun's not hot. It's that hot sun that makes you have to water things, because when you dig things up, you're destroying the root hairs, which absorb water for the plant. So that's why you need to water things so well when you transplant them. But if you do it in April before it warms up, then you don't have to do this. So that's why I like trying to get all my transplanting done in April. Throughout the year, I stop and think, where I might want to move things to, and then I just kind of save that up mentally. And then when it gets to be April, I do all my transplanting. And I just had so much to do this year. I'm just now getting to some of it. So there's the first one pretty much in. So I'm gonna start digging the hole now for the second one. There's the second one. And yeah, you just put it in at the same level. Make your hole just slightly bigger than the root ball. And then break up the big clumps of dirt. Put them in there. And okay, here's just dig up a nice hole, slightly bigger than the root ball. As you can see, there's a lot of incominer growing back here behind the garage. Put it in there and break up the clumps of dirt and fill it in. Okay, so that's how you move ferns. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.